Wrestling fans around the corner and around the world, I'm the Big Fat Well.
And I'm the rocker, Marty Jannetty.
And in about 10 seconds, we'll be talking about 90s wrestling straight out of Melrose.
It's going to be a rockin'... Who let the little kids into the studio?
Cut!
Wrestling fans, now you too can look as cool as Monte and the Pharaoh by wearing the official Monte and the Pharaoh sunglasses at night for $8.99 each. That's only $8.99 each. Now available at monteandthepharaoh.com. We know what you're thinking. Did they fire off 6 fascinating points of interest or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all the excitement of watching and listening to Long Island's #1 wrestling podcast, I've actually forgotten myself. But being this is the Monte and the Pharaoh from Indie Music Studios in Ronkonkoma, and the fact that they were talking to yet another champion wrestling star, one of the most powerful and talented performers from the wrestling franchise, and not to forget, well-informed and provocative interview questions asked and answered. It was such an interesting and entertaining hour, the questions nearly blew your head clean off. Now you've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Do ya, punk?
What? Yeah. No, I'm behaving myself. No, I'm not playing in abandoned buildings. What? Again? Now. I suppose you had those people follow me again. Fine. Hey, this is Jimmy Farrow from Monte and the Pharaoh, and I want to thank all our subscribers. We have now passed 14,000 on our YouTube channel. But I want to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged member of Monte and the Pharaoh. Yeah, that's right, folks. There's 3 different levels to choose from. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. Just check it out and become a member of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh. Later.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh, seen here out of Indie Music TV every Thursday from 9 o'clock until whenever. At the board is our friend, our own little private dancer.
What?
Matty Ice. Matty, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic.
Our what?
He's our private dancer.
Oh, Matt, deny
dancer
it.
for money.
Deny it,
I'm a horrible dancer.
There
You know,
you
Matt,
ever
with the-
seen a lanky person dance?
People can't see you, Matt, but you got those headphones on. But from the back, you look like you got devil horns on.
Does he?
Ooh.
It looks like he's a Halloween costume going on.
Yeah.
It does.
A little
Especially with
past the
shades. I
season,
can't make
but,
anything out. So, yeah, you look pretty ominous over there.
I want to thank everybody
I'll
for
take it.
joining us. We've got Maria Davis in the house, 802 ESO, Mr. Chris Lee, our super moderator, Robbie B. How are you? Rowley, good to see you. Ghost Rider, Wisteria Hall in the house.
Man.
We got Rick B in the house. All
What's
right,
up?
man.
What's
Thank you
up?
guys
What's
for
up,
spending
everybody?
your Thursday with us. I hope you enjoyed our little intro video. I hope you got a good laugh out of that.
I know I did.
PJ, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Davio, welcome, my friend. All
What
right.
is happening to one and all? What is
it.
happening?
So before we got on air, off script, right? News broke that the WWE, who had a great third quarter earnings of up 15% by over $255 million.
Small fortune.
They've
yeah.
decided. AMS, how are you, my friend?
What is a mess?
By the way, guys, I wrote you guys your stuff has left and is en route to your homes.
Oh.
So I want to thank you guys for all your support.
Have you been shipping again?
Shipping again.
Good man.
But the WWE has released big names like which hurts me, Karrion Kross.
That's a crusher for you.
Scarlett.
Yes, that's a crusher for
Nia
you.
Jax.
That's not a crusher for me. Is that a crusher for you?
A little bit.
Who else you got?
Ember Moon.
You know I could care less.
And then Bearcat Lee.
First of all, it's not Bearcat Lee.
Phil, how are you?
I can't stand this Bearcat Lee stuff. It's Keith Lee, and I think it's terrible that they've let Keith Lee go.
I'm in shock.
Terrible.
I'm in shock.
I'm not happy about that one.
But like we said, the Nick Khan effect is
Right.
in effect.
Yeah, well,
right
as I
now.
had explained on This Week in Wrestling, which you can catch tomorrow night, folks, on our channel, the thing that I'm not really surprised by any of this whatsoever, and it's, the Karrion Kross thing, I know it bothers you, but Karrion Kross was a problem, I think, behind the scenes, and again, he's kind of Goldberg-ish, so he's not going to give you a clinic in the ring, and if he's a problem, and I also told you that long list, that's a lot of money that they weren't using them. So you're making your money, but you're also wasting your money. So why waste? Money should never be wasted, period. If you're not going to use somebody, there's the door.
802 says Cross is a mistake, shaking his head.
I tend to agree with that. We both agree
I
with
do.
that.
I agree
thought
with that.
Karrion Kross was excellent in NXT, but something funny happened, like it happens to many when they get to the main program. I can't explain it.
802 also said his wife has gone to his fiance. That's correct. And
Right.
Maria Davis says WWE really cleaned their house out.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I'm not
802
surprised.
said Karrion Kross had heat with Adam Cole.
Thank you. I knew that something had gone down behind the scenes. I was pretty. But Adam Cole's
Oh,
not there
shit.
either.
Wait a minute. I didn't realize this. Morrison's wife let go.
That was Frankie Monet.
Frankie Monet.
Yeah, to me, she's Taya Valkyrie. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but I used to watch her in Mexico. Dude, she was excellent. They never really truly
How does
tapped her
that
correctly.
feel
She's
when a
excellent.
husband loses their wife?
Oh, that can't feel good.
That's got to be a problem, right?
Of course, it's a problem.
And-
Unless you're Charlotte Flair and you're like, yeah, let me know how it is over in AEW, Andrade. You won. Charlotte!
Why wouldn't they just got rid of Johnny Drip Drip?
Johnny Drip Drip?
Yeah.
Could you explain who Johnny Drip Drip is to the audience?
Johnny Morrison.
He's
That's Johnny
not
Drip
Johnny Drip Drip?
Johnny Drip Drip.
What is that, a reference to his active hose? Because he's pretty active over
that's
the
what
years.
he calls himself, Johnny Drip Drip.
Really? Wow, he's pretty funny. Why would you let him go? He's great in the ring.
Ghost Rider, the queen of pro wrestling, Charlotte Flair. Woo!
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Charlotte.
She's my queen.
She's the queen. She's the queen.
But,
Period.
if you're going to get rid of people, why wouldn't you get rid of Johnny Drip Drip?
I wouldn't get rid of him. He's an excellent worker. He did great with The Miz. He was entertaining.
So you're trying to
Okay,
build-
he wasn't the guy he was in the Indies, but I thought he's
So-
done fine since he's been with the
But let me ask you this. You're
Return
trying to build a
Vince.
future, so why wouldn't you keep a Keith Lee and get rid of a Miz, for example?
I would never get rid of The Miz. I can't. You know what? And if you hate him, that's fine. But if you can't tell that The Miz is a star, I feel sorry for you. I'm not a fan of The Miz. You know I'm not. The guy's a star, okay? Anything they've ever asked him to do, he's done well, all right? Now, maybe your definition of well is different than mine, but I think he's been nothing but a great company guy, and everything he's done or been asked to do, he's gotten it over. Hasn't he? The Miz is, come on, help me out here. I know you're a big fan of The Miz, believe it or not.
I'm a huge fan of the Miz.
Well, thank you.
But it's concerning to me that they're letting go some. Well, not that Karrion Kross. Let's face it. We were talking
He's
about this
almost
earlier.
40.
He's almost 40.
But
He's out of time.
Keith Lee, I'm bothered
He's
by.
literally out of time. Like Karrion Kross may be the lifetime indie guy,
He might be now. I don't know.
It's
we'll
over.
See. We'll see what happens.
which is a shame.
Yeah, a little bit. It kind of is, but I'm not happy about Keith Lee.
802 said he wanted the smack come after segment on NXT. You could hear Cross say, "I'm smacking him in the back."
There you go.
So something must have happened.
That's what I was talking about. Something happened where he lost his professionalism live on the air, and they were not pleased with that at all. So,
All right, another news. NFL player Henry Ruggs III faces charges over a fatal drunk driving crash. Former Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs III was traveling more than 150 miles per hour. His alcohol level is more than twice the legal limit. Before his car rear-ended another car, killing a 23-year-old woman, prosecutors say Wednesday. According to the National Football League, Los Angeles Raiders wide receiver Terry Ruggs III was arrested Tuesday and booked with charge of DUI, resulting in the death of another person. Later that evening, the Raiders announced that the 22-year-old athlete was released from the team. The Raiders are having some issues. Thoughts on Mr. Ruggs? Pharaoh.
Asshole. Why do you always do this to me? You already know what I'm gonna be saying. Asshole. 150 miles an hour?
Yeah, what are you thinking? Like, why do you have to drive that fast?
The alcohol made me do it. No, you're the asshole who drank the alcohol and decided to do 150 miles an hour. But she was 23, bro. You're just sitting at a light or something, right? I mean, what is she guilty of that she's lost her life? She's just sitting there and some asshole hits her at 150 miles an hour? Forget the Raiders releasing him. The only thing that should be released from him is a bar of soap sliding out of his ass amongst other foreign objects after he spends the next whatever in jail.
Absolutely.
Fuck this asshole.
Absolutely.
I'm done.
By the way, WWE's upset. The Miz should have not been let go from Dancing with the Stars.
Interesting. I can't say that. No, that's. Hey, look. Maybe that's what they're into. I didn't see the show. Was he a good dancer?
He's pretty good.
Is this an injustice?
Put a lot of effort into it.
Didn't Jericho go on Dancing with the Stars?
I don't think so.
I think he did.
No, I don't.
I think he did.
Do you really?
Hey, audience, help us out. Did Chris Jericho actually appear on Dancing with the Stars? Because I think he did. I could be off.
Hold on.
Could have been another wrestler.
Keep talking.
Wasn't
I'm
the
gonna
Big
check.
Show, I'll tell you that.
I don't think it was.
I could swear it was Jericho. Whatever. What are you going to do?
And here we are worried about Dancing with the Stars. Meanwhile, Chris Jericho.
He was?
He was.
Hey, there you go.
Look at you.
Well, I love Jericho. That's the problem.
How did he do, by the way?
He probably did okay. But I was told that he was told to never, ever come on the show again. Oh, well.
So probably the biggest news of the week, my friend, AEW star Jon Moxley enters alcohol treatment program. The AEW star has entered into an inpatient program to treat his alcoholism. CEO, general manager, and head of creative Tony Khan announced, Jon Moxley has allowed me to share with you that he's entering an inpatient alcohol treatment program. John is a beloved member of the AEW family, where we stand by him and Renee and all his family and friends as he shifts focus on his recovery. Thoughts on that, Jay?
Well, it's rough, you know. What I found more interesting was Mr. CM Punk coming out and discussing, L'chaim and all that other good stuff. Discussing that, it is good, isn't it?
That is good, huh?
I like that.
That's really good.
Discussing that, you know, he doesn't want to hear anybody else's name chanted but Moxley's tonight, not his name, because he's in a foul mood, which I thought was interesting.
Well, number one, give him kudos for realizing that he has a problem, right?
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I wonder, like, how long the problem has been going on. Did Renee can never realize that she knew that? Like, you know how you watch things and you expect things to happen, like people to like not be able to hide their secrets, their better halves or their second half. Yeah. She never let on that there was a problem.
You know what I'm wondering? Did this develop after he left Vince?
Interesting.
I mean, because, you know, he wanted to have his own schedule and he wanted to wrestle a certain way. He wanted to up his physicality and he wanted to get back to his roots, which if you ever saw John back in the day, like in the CZW, Combat Zone Wrestling time, he basically wanted to get back to being a complete maniac. I'm wondering if that returning to his old ways philosophically, for some reason, he felt that he had to live as fast as he was wrestling in the ring, because he clearly upped the ante and hit the pedal to the metal with his pro wrestling inside the ring. Did it take a toll on his body? Did it make him want to drink to kill the pain? Did he suddenly, you know, replace whatever it was he was doing back in the old days with alcohol to get through the pain? I'm not sure. I know that he gained a lot of weight. I've said that
Absolutely.
to you. If you look at...
He was like a stick before,
if
right?
You look, well, to you he was. To me, he was just a guy in good shape back in the days of WWE. But I noticed that, especially in the last half year or so, he has gotten beefy. You know, wait a minute. I feel like I'm gaining weight right now. I wonder... maybe there is something
Mess
to
says,
this.
Monty, be careful. Stone Cold might sue me because, you know...
What?
Stealing his gimmick.
Oh, okay. That's the
Rob
bottom line.
says he loves your rant. You're always spot on. Very nice of you to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, what do you think it is? What do you think made him you know.
Barry Robstein, law practice, says, please desist for dressing as my client. Thank you. What the?
Barefoot?
It's a lawyer, too, because it says it right here. Law practice.
He's got a trademark on bare feet.
Do you really think that's his client?
I could care less. I really don't give a flying rat's ass.
He's using everybody's money to hire a lawyer.
Wait a minute.
Barry.
Maybe he should contact the big fat whale's empty bank account and realize that he's not going to get paid.
This is true.
Case dismissed.
So anyway, final thoughts on Mr. Moxley?
I wanted to ask you, what do you think led him to drinking so much? Is it the fact that he realized his checks compared to Vince suck?
Wow. That's a good point.
I would drink more if I realized.
What did I do?
Yeah. If I realized I gave away half my salary.
Damn, I'm married to that bitch Renee Young.
I don't want that one. You know what? Yeah, maybe. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I have no idea.
Man. You know what?
I'd like to say though publicly that you and I are like Christmas on, school on Christmas vacation. No class. We have no. I'm sorry, folks. I really apologize deeply. Can't you tell? Anyway, what do you think led Jon to, and I do hope he gets better. I mean, kind of, you can't take a joke, folks. I do hope he gets better. I mean, my Lord, what's going on with him? I actually like his
how about this?
look.
How about this? I really don't feel bad for Jon Moxley because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because he's a millionaire that gets to go to inpatient treatment. How about the people that can't afford their drug and alcohol problems?
They wouldn't even let me in the front door last week. I was like, but I'm the Pharaoh when I heard slam.
Close
that door. I was like, what the frig?
By the way, Jason Kesserman says, do you like anybody in the Breeders' Cup this weekend?
In the Breeders' Cup? Wow. Wait a minute. You're the gambling man. What say you? Or have you? Wait, you
Ghost Rider says he's drinking Jägermeister. Well, there you go, Ghost.
Jägermeister. I like that
cheers
stuff.
Cheers to Ghostmeister.
Cheers to, yes.
The Ghost Rider, I mean.
Ghost Rider? Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. The Ghost Rider?
The skeleton with the fire on his head.
Nice.
And a little drink to Barry Rothstein, law practice. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Anyway, I feel this. I feel that I'm glad that
Barry? Oi.
I'm glad that he realizes his issue. He has a young child. This is not a joke,
no,
right?
Of course not.
I mean, we just spoke about someone who murdered someone because they didn't realize that, maybe they're not above the law and maybe you shouldn't drink and drive, right? There's enough people driving straight that have issues, much less than drinking and driving.
Yeah, in all seriousness.
So kudos to Moxley for sure.
I really hope he does get well. I mean, and I actually have enjoyed him in AEW. And, dude, he's big, man. He's got.
By the way, 802 says his rehab's a retreat. Oh, he's probably trying to get away from Tony Khan. Gotta get the fuck away from this guy.
If this guy hugs me one more time, he's like, oh, Jon, come back!
Or how about the cool?
You make me feel all warm and fuzzy.
I gotta deal with you at work all day, then I gotta come home to Renee Young. Rehab.
This is rough. I like Renee Young. I don't know. Maybe. Wait a minute. How do we know he's not the problem at home?
Phil says he's picked the wrong week for stop sniffing glue.
Or taking amphetamines. Or, wow, that was great. There were so many different lines in that film. Go on. Stop sniffing glue.
Well, if it doesn't get worse,
through the window.
Former WWE diva exposes OnlyFans abuse. Sunny from the WWE reveals abuse from her co-star. Tammy Lynn Sitch released in a statement to her fans. She apologized for not being able to do much because she's in an abusive relationship. She referred to her co-star and further revealed that he left bruises on her body. I'm sorry, guys, but my co-star has become a complete a-hole. He's abusive AF as
fuck.
Thank you. Yeah, and has given some bruises. Forgive me, I can't do much right now. Sonny's only fan account has really been reaching heights once again, and it was evident the amount of content she teased on her social media. Thoughts on that, buddy?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get serious now. Don't you fucking touch her. What is that? Are you kidding me? I'm not gonna even fucking make a joke about that. What the fuck is that? If this guy's hurting her, someone should hurt this guy.
Well, from what I understand, is she does porn on this thing, so I don't really know.
Now hold on a second. This guy doesn't know who he's dating, Or what her deal is?
No, like they're doing it on OnlyFans, like having sex on OnlyFans, or doing sexual positions,
Okay.
or something like that. I don't
All
know what's
right.
behind it.
Yeah, but that's not what she's talking about here. She's saying behind the scenes she's getting the shit kicked out of her.
By the way, PJ Chain says, shout out to ESO Creative, scooped up one of them, and I love New York shirts, and it's awesome. Gotten a few laughs out of people, and I already have quality is wonderful. They do, and that's a sponsor of the Monte The Pharaoh.
Absolutely.
And again, go on to esocreative.com and get the limited edition Monte and the Pharaoh t-shirt.
That shirt's the best.
By the way, light, very light. Oh, I have yours at home.
I was going to say, you already know what it feels like? I don't know what it
light
feels like.
and soft. It's beautiful.
Okay. You know what also is light? Bud Light.
Ghost Rider says, I'm at home with my wife. No driving me.
Wait a minute, you're not on the bike? Come on, Ghost Rider.
I'd like to thank the band that
donuts.
sings the theme song for Monte the Pharaoh, our own Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such wonderful songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain, and you can find their music on Spotify, Apple Music, and Reverb Nation. And please go to their YouTube page, hit that like and subscribe. And a lot of fans loving your music.
Yeah,
You're
what's
opening
going on
up
with
for
that?
the Tuesdays with Tony Atlas.
Yeah?
Macho Man Days.
Macho Man
yeah,
Man
I got that.
Days, yeah.
And obviously the Riding High, the theme song for the Monte and the
We're
Pharaoh
all over
show.
the place.
I gotta tell you, I'm totally into Wisteria Hall.
Thank you, sir.
If you didn't know it, you are watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh, seen here on Monte the Pharaoh YouTube page, Monte the Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV, Channel 115 if you live in New York, every Tuesday from 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's prime time.
Yes, sir.
And it's Saturday, Channel 115, 11:30 to 12 p.m., baby. That's up against Saturday Night Live.
Works for me.
80,000 viewers.
Works
We
for me.
are blessed. Thank
Yes.
you so much. You are making our cable station very happy. And I hope you are enjoying the show. Channel 20, Tuesday, 1:30 in the morning to 2 a.m. We'll be right back after this commercial break where we cover the Steroid Trials.
See you in a moment.
Hi, it's John from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Farrow.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh, produced out of Indie Music TV. So we were asking our super producer Matt, did he feel that we're out of line for drinking a beer while talking about Jon Moxley's issues?
Okay.
Do you think we're out of line?
No, I don't even think we're in line. I don't stand on a line, so I'm really not sure what that even means anyway.
You have a right to have a frosty beverage after work.
Listen, we worked hard all day.
That's
if we
right.
want to have a beer, we're having a beer.
and we want to have a beer with our Monte and the Pharaoh family.
If it somehow simultaneously, by happenstance, occurs at the same time as a subject such as the previous one, well, it's not like we planned it.
Superstar Billy Graham was hospitalized with a few conditions, but seems to be doing better now. Grandma also made it clear that his issues had nothing to do with the history of steroid use. Still, the company that he entertained millions wanted to check in on him to make sure he's okay. And he wrote on his Facebook page, "Yes, fans, what a surprise. Valerie, his wife, had this morning and then had when she got out of the shower that a man from the WWE had called to check on my health and condition. I said, wow, that is strange. What did he say? She said, well, he just introduced himself. I recognized his name. And then he said that we wanted to find out how Billy's doing and wish him a speedy and successful recovery to get him back on track. A few other things were said, and that was it. Of course, I won't reveal the name out of courtesy to him and the WWE, so I will say here and now, thank you, WWE, for checking on me.
Wow, this was out of character.
It is out of
How am I
character.
supposed to react to this? That sounds like a nice story. That's very wholesome. What a happy ending. You've given me nothing to work with.
Nothing.
That's fine. I wonder who do you think he was? Was it Vinnie Mac?
No.
Was it Shane O'Mac?
No.
Was it Genghis Khan? What's his name? The Khan
Nick
guy.
Khan?
Yeah, was it Genghis Khan?
No.
Was it, who was it?
Maybe
And don't tell me it was, what's it, Dewey Foley?
No, it's probably Bruce Pritchard.
You think so?
I would think.
By the way, that was nice of them to check up on him. I think that's great.
I agree.
Are they Facebook friends, the WWE and Superstar Graham? Because, you
I'm not
got to
sure.
be careful when you're Superstar Graham's Facebook friend.
Why? Well, what happened to you?
If you don't give him at least $1,000 a month, he unfriends you.
That's true.
That's rough.
And that did happen to you.
It's rough. You know what? It's going to be even funnier after the next swig. Yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
But just when you're talking in the Graham corner,
Yeah.
Graham ruins it with also says,
He
thank you to
ruins
fans
it.
for such a great response on the Don Morocco post, especially
Well, wait. Who did you? What was the name?
Don Morocco.
You were
Wait.
saying? Well, I tried watching.
Hello?
I
Don.
tried watching this show with some snot nose from across the pond, and 3 minutes I fell asleep and farted 2 times before I fell asleep. That's rough. That's
Wow.
rough. What a bore fest.
That's mean.
What was his name? Don who?
Don Morocco.
Oh, here it comes again.
Don't fall asleep.
Oh, he's magnificent.
So,
Have you heard?
so Graham says, posting these two
Okay.
shots you see here, damn, just look at the size of Don's gums in his flex shot. I bet they were right as good as 22 inches. Vince should have used Morocco with the whiz to kick Backlund's ass and become the new WWF champ.
Well, we can't argue with that. We did want to see Morocco win back in the day, but go ahead. What else has he
Here's
got?
a note. Managing Don Morocco, if you have a man that looks like a tank and good work and cut promos, so babyface manager is supposed to do, you can't pull a leg. You can't interfere. It does no good. Whatever. So ever managed babyface. So whatever. But again, has to take a shot at one of the greats, Bob Backlund. Thoughts on that?
Oh, I was so jealous. Stop it already. You were replaced by a guy who was more than capable of carrying the torch for a company for 6+ years or so as WWF champion. One of the greatest guests we've ever had in the studio.
Absolutely.
A guy who we did not root for growing up, but learned to absolutely admire the crap out of Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund does not get enough love. You're out of your mind. We grew up during those years. Bob Backlund packed the garden. Month after month, week after week, we wished to see him on television on Channel 9. We would see him once in a while, kind of like Brock Lesnar, was with the rare appearance by the champion. It was special. Bob Backlund was great. Stop being so jealous, okay? Bob Backlund was awesome. And it is what it is. And Bob Backlund had staying power, and Bob Backlund came back 10 years later or so and won the belt again. So, oh well, What's with the hate for Bob Backlund anyway? Does Superstar Graham think he could have beaten Bob Backlund in real life? That would have been a roll-up and a 1, 2, 3 so fast, and if Bob Backlund felt like making him submit, he would have.
Well, I think the problem is...
And that's the truth.
I honestly
So-
think the problem is that Graham was hot.
Right.
They made their move.
Right.
Right?
Oh, well.
Okay.
Them's the
But
breaks.
again, he just would have wasted
At
his
least
money
you were
anyway.
champ. Yeah. At least you were champ. And it doesn't sound like Superstar Graham was the kind of guy to trust with the belt anyway. Does it?
I agree.
I think he would have fucked Vince over at the very first opportunity he could get. And we're talking senior.
So, guys,
We're not even talking junior.
thanks to all your support
Please.
and everybody that's supporting us. A couple of things have happened. I think I mentioned that Tony signed a deal with Peacock, NBC, and there will be a character
Playing
Tony
Atlas on The Young Rock.
the Young Rock.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And then we had a wonderful interview with Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed Johnson.
Which is doing very well.
Very well.
And we've got a couple of write-ups on some of the dirt sheets, which is very cool.
Can I throw a quick shout out if I may? And I don't
please.
normally do this,
Go ahead.
but I would like to thank What Culture Wrestling, who I enjoy very much with my buddy Simon over there.
Right.
I love that channel. And thank you for, giving us a shout out and putting up the Ahmad Johnson quotes. That was fantastic.
But here's a weird thing, and I really need you to weigh in.
And
I
thank
want
you, Ahmad Johnson. You ruled.
Absolutely. I
know?
want you to weigh in. I want the fans to weigh in. So I received a phone call
Okay. Another
Well, I
phone
was at
call?
the gym
Boy, your phone
over the
never stops
weekend.
ringing. Go on.
And it was a gentleman
Okay.
that said, we watch your show, we love your show. And we saw Mr. James Ellsworth along with Gilbert on a show, which was a while
I'm already
ago.
getting defensive because
Right.
I like them both very much from the time I
This
got
gentleman said Gilbert's a really good guy,
He is.
but James Ellsworth is an evil person.
I
And
didn't see that.
I
but
am
go
ready
ahead.
to reveal all the secrets that Ellsworth has gotten away with, and I've got proof, and I'd like to come on the show. I said to him, "Look, sir, I don't really know you.
Yeah.
We're
this
not
got me
into
feeling
we're
weird.
not into ripping people apart.
Nope.
You know, it's not our thing."
Nope. Nope. No matter what you may think. Go on.
He did send some stuff to me
Okay.
to prove that he did know what he was talking about.
Okay.
And some stuff was factual. And then I said, "Look,
Okay.
Well, when I say some stuff was factual, everything he showed me
Looked pretty good.
looked pretty good."
That's unfortunate. Okay.
So I said I have to check with my partner, and I want to check with
You're
the people.
checking with me live on the air?
And with the people.
Hold on, folks. Go on.
And with the people watching, would you like to have this gentleman on an upcoming show to discuss all the issues of and he knows James personally.
All right, here's how this is going to work. Of course, always want to hear from the fans out there. You know, give us your opinion if you're interested in something like that. But I need to see this stuff before, when we get out of here, we're probably not even going to get to the car. And I'm going to be like, could you show me what you're talking about here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I actually like James Ellsworth. I thought he was a really cool guy. That doesn't mean anything. Let's see what we see. That's interesting, though.
But I did like him very much.
I thought he was
so
awesome.
I do have my concerns, like, should we really do this, right?
Well, I'll be able to talk more about it when I see more. I guess I'll leave it at that for now. But
And then
I love Gilbert.
By the way, Marty wrote me. He was all excited because the Atlanta Braves are now the new World
Good
Series
for you,
champions.
Marty. And I was rooting for the Braves, as weird as it sounds. I know we live in New York. We're Yankee fans. But if you're a Met fan, you naturally don't want the Braves to win. And that makes sense. As a Yankee fan, you look at the Braves a little differently. We beat their ass twice during the 90s. They're our bitches. You know what I'm saying? And they're still our bitches.
Right.
Sorry, Marty. But, I was actually glad that they beat those nasty, disgusting Houston Astros.
By the way, PJ says, part of me says yes, but I got to go with no.
Yeah, I'm kind of, right now I'm leaning the same way.
Ghost Rider says no.
Yeah, I'm leaning the same way. But
Maria says, I don't think it would be good.
Yeah, well, you know what? I really appreciate their heart because I can feel it right now. Because that's how I kind of feel about it. But let's take a look at it and we'll see what we think.
GD says, how much are those Lucky Strikes these days? $20 a
What?
pack?
Who
Is
wrote-
it that much?
Wait a minute.
$20?
Hold up. Who wrote that, please?
GD.
GD.
Gardner!
That is not. First of all, I'm sure that's not the same GD. Second of all, I'd like to thank you, GD.
$20 a pack!
No, here in New York, unfortunately, non-filtered cigarettes are the most expensive because you get what you pay for. These currently, go ahead, Mike, get ready.
Wouldn't filters be more expensive?
No, not at all. Listen,
You got to
man.
add something to the cigarette.
Listen,
a mess
you
says,
gave me a beer.
A mess says, pass. Better not to be. Better to be safe. Chris Lee says best not to.
I tend to lean.
I guess the
towards
people have spoken.
I agree with them. I tend to lean towards that.
No
I still
dirt
want to
on
take a,
Ellsworth.
I like James Ellsworth, and I'm not so sure. But let me at least see what you saw, so we can go from there. But I'm with the audience right now. I'll tell you that. Now, as far as the non-filter goes, these cost me, here in New York, $14.50 a pack. Which is way too much, but I got to admit, if I'm going to kill myself, I'm not going to pay $12 for filters that have formaldehyde.
Damn it! I'm gonna kill myself the hard way.
I'm going to do it the whole natural quality way. I don't want formaldehyde. I don't want the shit that they put in filters.
Isn't a filter supposed to help you not get cancer?
No, it's actually, you know what's funny? All right, we'll make this quick because
Okay.
this is cigarettes, but you're going to find this fascinating, okay?
Interesting.
Here's what's weird. I started to look up, why did the World War II generation live an average length of almost 80-something years. But the current guys, you ever notice why, like, we're noticing guys from...
By the way, Ghost Rider says he likes Winston 100s.
That's cool.
When I used to smoke, those were the
Winston's
long ones, right?
Yeah, but Winston was the most popular cigarette
My
in
mother
the
used to
60s.
smoke Winston, man.
Winston's are good.
I used to like when the secondhand smoke. I used to love that.
Winston gets a bad rap. They were the #1 cigarette brand in the 1960s.
Anyway, back to these guys.
To
in World War
make
II.
a long story short, basically, I did a lot of research, and I was wondering why the World War II generation lived to be longer than guys are cutting out in our age.
Yeah, sure.
They're dropping and stuff like that. And what I found is that the smokers, and most of them were smokers. Did you know 80% of America smoked in the 40s?
Oh yeah, I believe it.
80%. The ones who smoked, there was no such thing as filters back then.
Right.
They smoked the non-filter. In the 60s, the filters were really introduced, and in filters are formaldehyde and all sorts of other garbage that is really, really bad for you. So, and I noticed when I quit the filtered cigarettes and started smoking non-filters, no more stomach aches, no more feeling ill, or I'm smoking too much. It's hard to explain, but non-filters, you get what you pay for, and when you smoke a joint, you don't put a filter on it, so do the math. What else you got, Mike?
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. What else
Well,
you
with
got?
that, we're going to take
But don't smoke, kids. It's really bad for you.
With that, we're going to take a quick commercial break where we will cover the steroid trials.
Smoke them if you got them.
Well, I remember that.
Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB. The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, seen here out of Indie Music TV. Real quick, Chris Lee says, Jon Moxley writing another book on why he hates ladder matches. First of all, don't you have to be a certain age to start writing books? And what does it deal with just people writing books? Like Moxley, okay, I can understand him writing a book, but the guy's like 30-something years old. Like, shouldn't you, like, get through your life a little bit?
Yeah, I got to admit that I would probably wait another 10 years if I was Moxley to write a book. But, okay. Chris, you going to buy a copy of it? I wonder if Chris is going to, like,
I think he likes Moxley.
There's no reason not to. I think Jon
As
Moxley's
many
pretty
times
cool.
as I've spoken to Chris, I should know that by now, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
But how about these other guys that write books about themselves and they've done, like, they think they're special?
Oh, like that guy that was on The Dark Side?
Yes.
Yeah, like guys like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, kind of like delusional. Yeah.
All right, dude, so let's get into the steroid trials, okay?
Go for it.
So
You got-
I remember, as you did, right? Well, right, it was the mid-1990s, right?
Early
I just
90s,
got
getting
home
to
from
the
the
mid- yeah.
military or so.
Okay.
And that's when the steroid trials, right? The steroid trials in the mid-1990s were a series of trials brought forward by the federal government to indict the WWE and its chairman, Vince McMahon, on the grounds that he had been supplying anabolic steroids to professional wrestlers under the WWF umbrella. 6 charges were brought forward, with 3 being thrown out before the actual trial was set.
Already half gone.
Those 3 which made the
Loser.
court were 2 counts of distributing steroids and 1 count of conspiracy to distribute steroid. The trial was also noteworthy for Hulk Hogan's role as a witness, which, as we will learn later, was a complex as his relationship with Vince McMahon at this time. Vince McMahon was, of course, found guilty. Not guilty.
That's right.
Of Victor, which he himself was referred to as United States versus Vincent McMahon. Some of the people that played a high role in that were Jerry McDevitt,
Hero.
Hulk Hogan,
Hero.
Warlord,
Hero.
John Arizzi. No, he didn't really play part of it. He just...
Loser.
Wow. He was in studio, dude. Why are you saying that?
What? Well, they lost.
He
That's
did
why I'm
lose.
saying-
You're right.
That's all I'm
I took
saying.
it the wrong way. You're 100%
What?
right.
You got everything's got to be taken personal. Oh my God. Don't wet yourself, bro. You
Dave
lost.
Meltzer.
Oh, super loser, and I don't care what he thinks. Oh my God.
John Arezzi
John's a
mentions
different story, but
here that around 90% of the wrestlers at the time were on some form of anabolic steroids. Now let's start with that. How the fuck would John Arezzi know that 90% of the wrestlers were on anabolic steroids?
Are you saying that's a broad paintbrush without any?
Well,
yeah, but here's the facts, though. And this is a key thing
Go
that I
ahead.
picked up on the documentary.
All right.
How many of them went up there and said that they had been taking roids for years before Vince, working for Vince?
Absolutely.
Steroids were running wild in the territories.
Absolutely.
Why don't you sue Crockett and arrest,
An interesting fact, by the way, steroids
and take in the guys who ran Texas.
Steroids have
bring
been
them all
around-
in.
steroids have been
Terry
around.
Von Erich, bring them in.
Steroids have been
know?
around since 1930.
Yeah,
by
stop
the way,
already.
they were
Stop.
made to help Olympians defeat
Perform
other
better.
countries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, that's
You-
why they were never
you-
put on the hit list.
Of course, you think that you really think for 1 second Adolf Hitler did not feed his Olympians?
Thank
roids?
you.
Are you kidding?
Thank you.
Oh, stop it already.
But
Stop.
where would a guy like John Arezzi, okay,
Yeah.
know that 90% of the
He
wrestlers?
doesn't know.
And let's talk about Dave Meltzer real quick.
Oh,
Dave Meltzer clearly
me sick.
was taking steroids.
he's probably taking them now.
That's right.
He's probably taking them
And if
now.
anyone, like, not that Dave Meltzer's this big muscle head, okay, but clearly you could see he was taking the juice.
Yeah.
The juice is very easy to see.
John Arezzi wasn't taking the juice. He was taking the pizza instead of the juice.
What?
What?
Wow.
What is the problem? He was not taking the juice.
He liked food.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with liking food.
Yeah, they used to
Farrell.
call him Chewy. Sorry.
My God.
What?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, well, you know. Feed me half a beer, Actually, it's 3/4. Three-quarters of a beer.
So Dr. George Zorian, am I saying it right?
Not a
Responsible
hero, by
for
the
examining wrestlers in
Not
the
a hero.
WWE, had a big doctor bag filled with steroids,
With
per the warlord.
roids.
It was clear that Zahorian was more of a drug dealer than a doctor. Former pro wrestler Brian. This disappointed
I love
me.
Brian Blair.
Brian Blair.
Nope, I love Brian
But
Blair.
he went and testified, did he not?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did, and I don't blame him.
First of all,
blame him
wait,
for
what do you,
that.
we don't blame him for what? The guy.
He was telling
You
the
want
truth.
steroids? Here's steroids.
Dude, all Brian Blair, stay with me on this. All
Okay.
Brian Blair did was hang Zahorian. He didn't hang Vince.
Why hang Zahorian?
Why?
Why?
Because he had a choice. It was either you hang this guy, you help us hang this guy at the very least, or you could be in a lot of trouble. They fucked him. Brian Blair did what he had to do. I'm sorry, bro. I'm with Brian Blair on this one.
I'm fine.
I feel like, and at the end of the day, the only one that he made sure got fucked over was the one who was giving everybody everything, Zahorian. The end.
But again, okay.
The end.
I'm supplying.
Vince McMahon told me to do it. Oh, what? After they put you in
Well, wait a minute.
solitary confinement for 44 days?
But
you
he was,
heard what
but he was doing the
McDevitt
same
said?
thing that Brian Blair did. He
Of
was trying to help
course.
himself out, right?
Of course. You heard what McDevitt said. They put him in solitary confinement for 44 days. He would have said, Vince McMahon, fuck me in my earlobe after 44
Think how-
days
but-
of that. Give me a break.
but think about-
Here we go. Like, come on. It was something. It was. And by the way,
Oh my God.
the government, what a laugh. They turned a blind eye to steroids since what year? When did you say this shit first came into existence?
Obzen says, "Fuck Brian Blair."
Okay, that's fair.
Brian
That's
was in
cool.
studio.
Yeah, I like Brian Blair, but that's cool if you feel that way. I'm with
Davio
you.
says,
That's fine.
"Dynamite Kid used to throw syringes into the walls
Yeah,
like
come
darts."
on, man. Stop. Yeah.
Dude, that was your tools of your trade. You
Of
needed to
course
do
it
the
was.
juice.
Of course
you
it
needed
was.
to do the juice.
But by the way, what a witch hunt. I agree with Warlord. He said it on the documentary.
Yeah.
Witch hunt. And you know why it's a witch hunt? You're going to tell me with a straight face. What are we talking? Early 90s? Think about sports in the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Right.
You decide to go after professional wrestlers. Did you ever take a look at Bo Jackson's arms?
Yeah.
Did you ever take a look at Brian Bosworth?
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something. This was a witch hunt. They went after Vince McMahon.
802
because-
says, "Sorry, Farrell, but 44 days in the hole ain't shit."
No, I understand that. But you know what, though? For a guy who had never been in the hole, stay with me, 802, because I know you will. For a guy who'd never been in the hole,
That's a long time.
That's forever.
Thank you. I mean, I never been at
he
home.
wanted his mommy 802. You know what I'm saying, bro? So basically, he was going to say anything after that. And by the
true.
way, I'm impressed that you're a hardened individual. That works for me. Okay.
Phil says Pharaoh's animated, baby.
Yeah, well, I am a bit of cartoonish. But
Here's the problem I
grew
had.
up on Scooby-Doo.
Here's the problem I had.
What do you got?
So you had the steroid thing, and McMahon gets past it. We'll go back to it, but
All right.
then you go on to Donahue, right? And we covered this with Lee Cole, right?
Clown show.
And here's
Go on.
Arezzi along with a bunch of other fucking spoiled little rats
Right.
who are annoyed,
Right.
Because they're angry for one reason or the other. Like, listen, it's clear.
Either they didn't make it in this company.
Right, that's right.
Or they're angry that they can no longer sustain the power trip that they were enjoying in his company.
That's right.
What are we talking here? A bunch of bitter birds.
You
Bitter
got to
birds!
start with this. Wrestling back then was a very small society.
Sure.
And when the normal folk, like a John Arezzi, or
That's fair.
what's his name, the guy,
Who, Meltzer?
Meltzer,
Yeah.
they happen to seep in the wall.
Right.
So they had their own little party.
Sure.
They had their own little party with Marty.
Right.
Right? But it was really
right,
private.
Right.
And then all of a sudden
Right.
things didn't become so private anymore.
Right.
Then they got angry, right?
Oh, yeah.
They were angry that everybody was involved in their what they perceived their little world of professional
And
wrestling.
who died and left them purists anyway?
Well, let me ask you.
No, seriously.
Let
who
me ask you
died
this
and
about
left
it.
them
Now,
purists?
we had a res-
Oh, well,
we-
we're the
yeah,
we're the
you had a
moral
Resi.
stance
You had a
for pro
Resi in
wrestling.
studio.
Who asked you?
How do you become known as a pro wrestling historian?
I have no idea.
First of all, how do you get?
You know how you
He's
become-
not the only one.
I'll
There's
tell-
many people
I'll
going. I'm
tell-
a pro wrestling historian. What? You read a book? Oh,
You wanna
Bob
know?
Backlund in 1985 wrestled Jimmy Snuka. I'm a historian.
Yeah, well, you want
Look,
know
I'm
how?
telling you history.
Well, if you want to know how,
Right.
If you want to know how you become a pro wrestling historian, this is how you become.
Please, tell me.
Okay, Matt, do me a favor. Underneath the image of me, could you put pro wrestling historian? Thanks, man.
Oh, that's
Because I'm a pro wrestling historian. You know why? Because I saw an armbar for the first time in 1975. Put it underneath me right here.
You are a professional.
You see? High five. There we go.
It's gonna
That's
be on
how you
air right
become-
here.
That's how you become.
You know what my
a
wife
pro
said to
wrestling
me?
Historian.
She goes, you know why these pro wrestling historians don't
Thanks,
like
Matt.
you?
What was that?
She says to me,
one more
right,
time.
you know why these pro wrestling historians don't like you? Because you don't respect them. That's what she said to me. She
No.
goes, you don't respect them.
I'm supposed to respect a pro wrestling historian.
Yes.
I barely respect Sammy Hagar, who replaced David Lee Roth, and you want
Look,
me to...
you're a pro wrestling
There
historian.
it is, right there. But I barely respect the guy who replaced David Lee Roth. You want me to respect a pro wrestling historian?
On a-
Good luck to you.
On a serious note,
Yeah, go ahead. Wait a minute. What's that?
I,
I don't even know what that is.
the steroid
Go ahead.
trial, Vince gets away with.
He got away with
he
nothing.
got away with nothing, but
got
he
away
gets
with
away,
nothing.
right?
He kicked
could
their
have went to
ass.
jail. He could have went to
He
jail.
could have, but he didn't. Could have, would have, should have.
Do you remember when Hulk Hogan was called and they were bringing him in?
Yeah.
Did you think at that time, because I did, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I thought Hogan was going to bury him,
Nope.
and that was the end of Vince
Nope.
McMahon.
No, I did not.
Remember, he was working for WCW
I
at the time.
understand that, but no, I did not think that Hulk Hogan. I think Hulk Hogan got up there and told the truth, and I love that he did because he was basically like, Vince never sold me shit. What are you talking about?
So at no point did you think Hogan was going to try to screw him over.
No.
But why? They weren't friends
It
anymore.
doesn't matter if they weren't friends. They're irreversibly connected. You know what I'm trying to say? Like Lennon and McCartney had a lot of fighting after the Beatles broke up. But
Right.
do you really think for 1 second that either one of them wanted real harm to come to the other one? Nope. And yeah, I'm calling Hogan and McMahon Lennon and McCartney of the 80s.
I understand. It's a
That's
good
what
point.
I'm calling them. And if you don't like it, then you must have missed it because we grew up to it. The end.
And the minute Hogan didn't bury him, it was over.
Right.
That was checkmate.
Right, but he also told the truth, though. He did. He was
So,
like, Vince McMahon never
let's
sold
talk
me
about
anything.
this. This
What
is another thing
what
that
is
people
going on
were in
here?
such an uproar about.
Yeah.
Hogan ends up going on to Arsenio, and he's asked about steroids.
Right.
And Hogan says he took them 3 times, which
Right.
is probably clearly bullshit.
Of
Okay, whatever.
course.
Clearly bullshit.
Right.
Why would, again, here's Arizzi, here's Meltzer, let's not forget Mushnick, all upset. Hogan's a
Mushnick.
liar, whatever.
Right.
Again, you know, we've had some wrestlers in
Mushnick.
here. We've had some wrestlers in
Hey.
here, and
Yeah.
I honestly don't think steroids are bad for you, dude. I think they actually could be helpful.
Steroids actually helped me post-surgically.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
And
Thank God for steroids.
Here may be
Yeah.
the issue. If you take steroids and do downers and uppers and cocaine and
that might be-
drink,
it might be a
and
problem.
then you might have a problem.
You might have a
Right?
problem.
You got to choose something. So, again, did you have a problem with Hogan not giving the whole truth with Arsenio Hall?
No, not particularly. No. Quite honestly, no. Well, I should have. You know, he's not on a stand.
ESO
It's not a
Creative
court
says,
of
coming
law."
soon, limited edition pro wrestling historian hoodies.
Interesting.
Can you put a Rezzy's face on that, please?
It's going to be a big
With a
hoodie.
chicken
big
bone?
hoodie.
With a chicken bone in his mouth?
A chicken bone. Oh, my God. Holy chicken.
I got to be honest with you. I have a lot of problems that people that want to see someone get buried.
Yeah, me too.
And he didn't do anything wrong. It's like you wanted someone to go to jail for doing nothing.
No, you're mad at him
Because
you're
he's
mad at
making
him-
he's
But
making
here's-
his money off these wrestlers.
Here's the best part. You're mad at him because your version of pro wrestling doesn't match what he did. So let's send him to jail.
Thank you. You hit it on the head.
You sick fucks.
That's right.
What the fuck
That's
is
right.
wrong with you?
You know, you hit it right on the head.
Wow, that's fucked up.
It wasn't your wrestling. It wasn't
Please,
what you
stop.
wanted.
Yeah, and the best part is what most of these purists want today is two guys physically, truly beating the crap out of
Yes.
each other. Wow, you really
They
have,
want fake
you
wrestlers
really
hurting
have-
each other.
You really have their best interests in
Right.
mind. You're full of shit.
I want
Wow.
my wrestlers to look like the Ultimate Warrior,
Yeah,
or
why not?
Warlord, or Hulk Hogan,
Brock Lesnar.
or Brock Lesnar,
Yeah, that's
or
fine.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
What I don't want them to look like is Moxley
Or Orange
and
Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
And I got to be completely honest with you. Yeah, why not? I mean, that's enough's enough with this bullshit
I mean,
already.
you want to let's call bullshit right now. Matty Ice, our producer, who no one's ever seen on camera, would beat the fuck out of Marco Stunt. He'd beat the fuck out of him.
Come on, man. I mean, Marco Stunt's like 2 feet tall.
But I'm just saying, though, Marco Stunt can convincingly get in the ring to these people and wrestle a 300-pounder. Matt would fucking ice him in a second.
Ghost Rider says Road Warriors are the George Harrison and Ringo Starr of the 80s.
The Road Warriors are the George Harrison and the Ringo Starr.
Evaluate.
Well, if he's adding to the Hogan, McMahon, Lennon McCartney thing, I agree with that. However, I'll go further. The Road Warriors are the Lennon and McCartney of tag teams of the 80s. Period.
Phil says it makes me wonder what the media was trying to distract us from during that time frame. A waste of taxpayers' payers.
Sure, we've seen it.
You know what? He's 100%
You know
right.
what? And on top of it, I got two words to add to that. Kenneth Starr.
Very interesting.
Come on, man. That was the biggest cash cow I've ever seen. Milking.
Kurt Fox
Unbelievable.
says, thank you guys for the Tony Atlas videos. The stories of life are eye-opener of what was and what is.
You got it.
I got to tell you, we were talking
Tony's
about that.
kicking ass.
It's funny because we grew up on Tony.
Sure
and
did.
I'm always amazed that the WWE, even Georgia Championship Wrestling,
Sure. He
why
can
they
talk.
didn't let him
Let him loose.
let him loose.
He's-
Oh my
he can
God! What a mistake!
You know what the best part is that sometimes when we're not doing the show and stuff, the phone rings and there he is. There's Tony. You know, and man, can he talk? I would have given him as much my time as possible.
Oh my God!
He's a
You
good
ain't
talker,
kidding.
man. He's good. He's good.
You're 100% right.
Yep. Glad the fans are enjoying Tuesdays with Tony, by the way.
I are. I'm glad the fans and all the support and everything else. So, again, the way I look at the steroid trials is this: you got a bunch of angry, older wrestling fans
With an agenda.
that wanted to see Vince McMahon go down.
With an agenda.
You know, and I'm sorry to say this, and I know, again, Maria, you're out there, right? Bruno Sammartino, one of the greats, and
Sure.
great in my book, too.
Sure.
But he had sour grapes
Yes, he
towards
did.
the end there.
Absolutely. He was not happy about anything. He didn't like the direction Vince was taking the company in. He didn't like how he was booking his son. He didn't like this. He didn't like that. Listen, Bruno, you had yourself an amazing run, and you were amazing. And I do think the McMahon family took very good care of you. The least you could do in your retirement, you shut the fuck up and let the McMahons run their business.
Right.
Nope! Not doing it. You know, I mean, no disrespect, but yeah, you disrespected them, so disrespect. It is what it is. Imagine if I had 4 of these. Boy,
Wow.
oh boy.
So in the end, Vince survives. Thank
of course
God
he
for all
survives.
of us.
And they knew that they would. By the way, let this not be lost. Public perception. Who was the babyface? Who was the public rooting for during the trial? Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Thank you.
So remember, to the loud minority, you're just a loud minority. That's it. We hear your complaining and anti-Vince shit all the time because you're the loud ones about it. We don't get on the keyboard every day and feel we have to defend the guy who turned pro wrestling into Super Bowl
it's the
level.
minority that seems to have the loudest voice.
It's just the internet. It's just that they yell the loudest. Weren't you always taught growing up, you could yell all you want, but if you're not saying something that's truly valuable, all you're doing is being loud.
But then again, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right?
Well, yeah, but that's, that might be applied differently. I'd have to go back and listen to the song.
Interesting.
About the squeaky wheel getting the grease.
All right, guys, we're almost out of time. I want to tell everybody, let's not forget, next Thursday we got our regular show. Maria Davis says, yes, Bruno Sammartino was great, but not as great, was not as great to everyone. He was great. He was great. What disappointed me again on Bruno was I felt that Bruno was angry. See, there seemed to be a problem.
You don't even have to feel it. He was angry.
When you have the
There's
guys
no
in here,
secret
but you know what, though? This is the difference you see. When people were working under Vince Sr.,
yeah.
there seemed to be that ultimate respect.
Right.
And when Junior took over, it's almost like the son taking over. It's not like the son
Like
taking
a
over.
resentment.
Right? There's like a resentment.
already a
and I
built-in
don't, and I'm
resentment.
an older
Sure.
guy, and I don't want to listen to that kid, right? I don't want to work with that kid.
Right.
Anyway, the kid ended up being better than the father, for sure.
He surpassed him on
And
a business
and,
level.
and
that's
Vince
for
is
sure.
now a father figure to many of these wrestlers. But
Right.
the point is, when we ask that question, what's the difference between the two? There is certainly a difference of respect for Vince Sr. over Vince Jr.
Sure.
Vince Sr. was more of a diplomatic businessman who
Right.
stuck by his word.
Right.
And I'm not saying Vince Jr. didn't stick by his word, but Vince Jr. also was very cutthroat, right? And you could see that in many documentaries with Vince Jr.
But-
in the Andre the Giant documentary, he talks about Andre the Giant. One of the main things he says, he had this innate ability to disconnect himself from bad situations and not get emotional about
Right.
that, because
Right.
that's his
Right.
mechanism to survive. So Bruno, who meant the world to pro wrestling, meant the world to the fans.
Absolutely.
I felt like he tarnished his image.
I don't think that he's tarnished his image, but I don't think that he comes out looking too good, in my opinion, as far as his bitching after his career was over. It doesn't look good. Not to me. And it doesn't look good when I hear Superstar Graham doing all that bitching. I had a much higher opinion of Superstar Graham years back before I heard him doing all this bitching. I almost wish I had never heard him do any bitching so I could remember Superstar Graham, the wrestler.
Right.
Because it's a lot... I feel a lot more fun towards Billy Graham, the wrestler,
Maria Davis
than I do
says
Billy Graham, the Facebook personality.
Bruno was upset that his son didn't get a push. I'm not so sure, Maria, because when David was in studio,
Right.
there was a disconnect between him and his father
was.
too.
There
Certainly
was.
a major disconnect between him and his mom. There
Yeah.
was a big problem there, and look, all families have problems,
Right.
But there was a disconnect with his father also.
But why is it automatically that Vince McMahon Jr. has to push David Sammartino? He wasn't good on the mic. He didn't have the it factor his father had. So what am I? I just have to push him? I would have told Bruno, your son's not you. It's not personal.
Look, let's be
But
real.
it's not personal.
But let's be realistic. I like David Sammartino.
I thought he was
right?
good.
But the reason they
But he
brought David
wasn't
in,
great.
but they
It's
brought
like-
David in as a way to get Bruno back in.
That's right.
I mean,
because Bruno was still great even at the end, fighting Macho.
Oh, my God,
He
and
was
Piper, oh, my
Listen,
God.
Bruno had it. But just because your son is your son doesn't mean let's just give him a push. That's it. That's stupid. That's bad
I don't
business.
think Bruno. I really don't think Bruno expected that. I
don't
really
think he did either.
I think he tried to protect his son from some of the bad shit that
Sure,
was going on.
sure,
for sure.
sure.
But I don't think he demanded stuff. That's for sure.
Right. I can see that.
Phil says Backlund never complained. Kurt Fox says, love hearing stories around the fire with you guys. Us
thank
too,
you.
man.
Thank
Maybe
you.
we should have a fire pit one time.
That would be awesome. I love when we have the fun.
All right, that being said, so we got next week, Thursday show. Don't know what subject we're going to talk about. We might just talk about the release of Scarlet. Because
Or the angry emails you're going to get from John Arezzi tomorrow. We could talk about that.
Oh, he'll just forget it. It's over. It's over.
I'm telling my friend Evan. Fucking fall asleep halfway through the documentary. What are you talking about?
By the way, I think that guy's Evan's writing a book about himself.
Oh, wow. How self-indulgent.
The school teacher who lives in a one-room apartment writing a book about himself.
Fantastic.
Talk about
That's
egotistical.
awesome. Matt, you got any Rolaids? Damn it.
Wow.
Oh, well.
Anyway, so next Friday, we're going to have honored what you call a family affair,
A family affair.
where we have PG-13
that's
in the
right.
house with
That's right.
superstar
Superstar.
Bill Dundee.
Bill Dundee.
What is the Pharaoh's expectation of superstar Bill
I
Dundee
got no
and
clue.
PG-13?
I got no clue. He's a pretty fiery guy, Bill Dundee. I'm not sure what to think. This is going to be interesting. At the very least, this is going to be quite interesting. He's a pretty big name from back in the day.
Huge name.
Superstar Bill Dundee.
Huge name.
Nice catch. Who's going to be good?
You excited for superstar Bill Dundee?
Actually, I'm a little worried. To tell you the truth.
Are you really?
He's intense. I don't know what he's going to be like.
How about PG-13, dude? Wolfie D?
I'm hoping that's going to be nice. He'll keep.
That might be crazy.
Just keep him calm.
Well, no. So PG-13's here by themselves, and then Bill Dundee's.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And then maybe we'll bring them all in together.
Yeah, okay.
I'm wondering if Dundee gets along with his son.
I guess we're going to find out.
His son's off the hook.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, that works. He'll fit right in, if that's the deal. Who's writing what?
802 says, have you ever seen Stoned about Brian Jones? Phil, he's writing that too. Raleigh says, grew up in the Memphis. So, Raleigh, you're going to love this then, dude. Bill Dundee, the Memphis. Guys, help me out there.
I want to see Stone
I'm having a brain
with Brian
freeze.
Jones. That sounds...
I got a brain freeze. The announcer in Memphis.
Oh, God. Don't remember.
Someone help.
Yeah, someone please
Anyway,
help.
I want to talk about him because I was one of the great announcers of all time, and for some reason my brain is freezing.
Well, it
right
could be this, you know.
Anyway.
Do you need to check in anywhere?
now. No, we're good.
Okay, just check.
All right, I want to thank you all for joining us. It's always our pleasure. We love you guys visiting us and taking your time and joining Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. Again, we're honored to be part of Indie Music TV, along with the super producer Matt, who is always on top of his game, making sure that things are right. By the way, Chris Lee said, don't give him good fucking wine. My friend, we have 4 bottles waiting. It is going to be a fun Friday rally. Thank you much. Lance Russell, huge name in the industry.
Of course.
One of the greats. You talk about the greatest of all time, Gordon.
Well, Gordon, but he's in
Lance
that family.
Russell
He's in that
is
family.
really, if there's one
in
A
that
and one B,
family. Yeah.
that's Lance Russell. Well,
Yep.
maybe Jim Ross.
Jim Ross is great.
But then maybe Bobby Heenan and Gorilla. You know what, Jesse
No,
Ventura.
Jim Ross, though. Jim Ross.
All right, can't continue.
Yeah,
on.
we could go on all day. We could.
Phil, happy Thursdays. Again, we hope to see you guys next Thursday and then next Friday where we'll have some GFW in here. We're going to get our drink on and really have a good time. Day of EOB, another great show. Good night. Good night, all. We love you. And again, write the Monte The Pharaoh webpage. Guys, get you some shirts and some pictures. And I want to thank Chris Lee, who is killing himself for us, and believe me, sir, much respect.
Much
my friend.
appreciated, Chris.
Night all.
You've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh, and until next time, later.